So, firstly, congratulations on being selected to represent GB at the Deaflympics. Can you just try and put into words your emotions of being selected?
Okay, so first of all, I'm very proud of myself for getting picked because it's probably my most challenging year in my football career to try and get selected for a team. Um, the reason for this is because of injuries mainly, and I would always like try to play catch up, to the other players. And there'd been many moments where I didn't think I'd get picked. I had a lot of setbacks. So that's why I would say this is probably my most proudest achievement in that respect of getting picked for, a squad, and especially for like Great Britain, where the competition a lot more. Um, it required a lot of commitment, hard work, um, and mental resilience, basically. There have been a couple of times where I wanted to give in, but I just cracked on with it. And yeah, here I am. So yeah, very proud, very excited. Um, you know, I feel like I've got an unfinished story with Great Britain. So hopefully at the end of this, I feel fulfilled and come back with a gold medal.
Or fingers crossed for the gold medal.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've been on quite the journey, and it's probably going to feel really rewarding when you get to Tokyo. Just looking back at your training ahead of getting selected and ahead of going to Tokyo, how's your training gone? And how what's the bonding like been with the team?
Okay, so in terms of training, we started the trial in October last year. Um, I think I joined the group at around November. Um, and then since then we've been training every month up until I would say about 2 months ago, where then that kind of like progressed to 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. So there's been a lot of traveling back and forth to Wales, to Doncaster mainly. We'd have weekends. Some consisted of a game again, a hearing team or another country. So that's yeah, there's been a lot of preparation leading up to this. The team bonding been fantastically well. There's a lot of positivity around the squad. I really like that because when it gets like one or two players who are negative, it kind of affects the morale. It affects players' performance. I've started to pick up on that, throughout my career, and it's probably the first team where they've just been positive right from the off. There hasn't been any um I wouldn't say disagreement because obviously we've had disagreements, but they've been dealt with in a very positive manner. Um, but in terms of like arguing and stuff like that, no, nothing. It's a great squad, and I'm very looking forward to spending a lot of time with them.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. Sounds like you've got all of the right components there for a successful team. So fingers crossed for Tokyo. Um, so you mentioned you had a few injuries and it's been a little bit of a difficult season, but you're obviously ready now. How are you feeling in terms of your personal form?
My personal form, you say?
Form, like, yes, the football, so your skills and things like that for football.
Okay. Okay. So it's funny you asked that. So obviously, I'm 35 now, and according to science, this is the age I should be thinking about retiring. Um, so obviously that was kind of like playing in the back of my mind. So I get all these injuries, and I would like to say I'm not injury prone, but having said that, I look back and I've had a lot of injuries, so maybe not injury prone is probably accurate, but I've never had like a string of injuries like this before. So it all started off with a slight groin niggle, and then I had a really bad hamstring pull, and that kind of like started things off. That was kind of like the seed put in my body where, right, okay, injuries start to grow, and I started questioning whether it's my age, whether this is just the way it is now. But I come to realize it wasn't about that. It was more about being patient, just making sure that you're not stressed about these type of things, and just trying to like keep a structured mentality. Um, and it was very difficult because when I went to every training session I went to, I would always, claim back on the performance. I always knew, right, that wasn't me. I know I could have done better, and I was always questioning, okay, did I do good enough? That was always playing on my mind. So the journeys coming back from Doncaster to Wales, like 4 hours or whatever, that was just a lot of thinking about what I could have done better, or what I did wrong, and stuff like this. And this is on the back of the injuries, not being fit and not being in the right rhythm. And then I had a couple of life changes where that kind of like took some stress away. And then I just felt more relaxed then on the pitch, and my decision making got much better. And then up until 2 months ago or 3 months ago now, my form just kind of like skyrocketed, and I feel like I'm back to um my young self, basically. It's really nice, to have hit that form just before, the manager was pretty much deciding that final 23. Because previously I was on standby after some assurances early on that I was nailed on being the team. And then to put on standby, it was a bit of a hit. So yeah, I just had to overcome that, and yeah, here we are.
Oh, fab. So it sounds like your injuries are better now, mostly better, and that you're ready.
I've still got them, but I should say,
You're managing them and you can.
yeah, I just do like a lot of rehab, just strengthening every muscle when I can. Like I'm doing it in work sometimes, just like hiding under the desk, just doing my rehab of my ankle. Um, just whenever I get like a niggle in my groin, I'm like, okay, I missed this training session. I know how much you want to play, how important fitness is, but let's just focus on the groin and go to the gym and do some like elastic band exercises. Hamstring had been great. Touch wood. Um, Ankles. I've been strapped an ankle like excessively. It looks like I got a really fat ankle because there's just so much, bandage around them. So I've been committing to do that, even though it's like a right pain. So that for me, that's dedication. That's really
You're going to come home from Tokyo covered in bubble wrap.
of the yeah.
So just talking about Japan, what's your aim and what's the team's aim for Japan? Obviously,
Well, it's to win gold, basically. Yeah, we all think we're capable of that. We played a friendly game against Brixton about 2 weeks ago, and they were a well-established team, quite talented, and that would kind of like that game was like a breakthrough for us because it showed like, yeah, we can compete with a really good team, and we have our, we all start to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, our mentalities right, our shape and our tactics are right, so everything looks good. Um, but prior to this, we were struggling to find these type of games because this stage of the season, everyone got a game, all the hearing clubs have got a game, so it's difficult to get lock in a friendly. And then we managed to get this team, and they were a real test for us. But we kind of like proved ourselves, okay, yeah, we're ready, basically. So yeah, that's good. So gold is the aim.
oh, let's manifest it. So you're a proud, just moving on to the last question now. So you're a proud Welshman. But how does it feel to represent GB, Deaflympics GB?
It's a great honour, obviously. There's a lot of talent in that team, like from Scotland, even from Wales, but mostly England. So I always knew it was going to be a bit more difficult, especially when I was like playing catch up. Um, so yeah, I'm very proud. I'm the only Welshman that's going. Um, so it's kind of like I felt like I had a bit of response, like a bit of a I don't say like a bit of a responsibility for me to go. I kind of like wave that Welsh flag type of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that at least one Welshman in this Great Britain team, and hopefully if we do win a medal, I can come back to Wales, and bring it back home, you know, rather than you can imagine Great Britain won gold and there wasn't one Welshman in the team, it's gonna feel like Scotland and England won it. No, 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 not today.